And I saw news that the NFL is finally going to allow teams to have secondary helmets, because that means that the Seattle Seahawks can go back to what I think is the much better look than their current, no offense, Arena Football League / Canadian Football League look. I don't really like it that much unless they're wearing the action green uniforms, because it's just too much. It's just too much monochrome. Not a big fan of it. They could potentially be wearing their old school jerseys. So you would want to see them in those, right? I mean, the old school looks better than the current look, right?
Those are fire. I really like the old school looks. And you know what helps that old school look? When people throw it on Instagram pictures or whatnot, they put some filters on it, though. Like, it has to look like that. Like, just the plain old school where the colors seem like dry, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That looks cool, but it has to look like wet. You know, when you see it on Bobby Wagner when they do the edit, it just looks wet. It looks glossy. Like, that's the look that I want to see. Yeah, I like those jerseys better.
They look sick. So, theoretically, you could see them as soon as next year, right? No. No. You're not going to see them next year. Now, here's the deal. Basically, you could see it in 2022. Sort of. Teams have to declare by July 31st if they're going to use a second helmet in 2022. But here's what's the stupidest part of all, because you should be able to get this done over the course of a couple of months. I would think that making a bunch of NFL helmets that have throwback capacities should be possible for an NFL team. If Wazoo, for example, how many helmets does Wazoo have? 4?
Got 3 of them things.
3, exactly. So if they can have 3, why can't the Seahawks have a couple? Why do you need to wait until 2022 to put these helmets out there? I get it. Maybe there's safety reasons or something like that. But that's just the helmets. So the Seahawks could theoretically go back to that silver helmet, but it would look kind of weird by itself. And that's the other problem. The deadline has already passed for the Seahawks to put in a proposal to the NFL to put in more uniforms, another uniforms. And this is true for the Patriots with their throwback uniforms, for the Buccaneers with their creamsicles, for all those other teams. You got to wait until 2023 to see the old Seahawks look, because of just stupid rules that the NFL has put in place for no reason whatsoever. I hate stupid rules that have real no reasoning. Like, I can't understand why you need to wait until 2023 to see something like this.
What? Like, why? Why? You can get this done in a week.
Right.
They can have those jerseys made, submitted. You can look at them. You can test them, do whatever you want to. In a week, you have the money. You have the manpower to get this done. I don't understand it. But now there's teams who are going to benefit from it, who already have their throwbacks into play, like the Broncos, Dallas. There was a couple other teams over there who have their. There's a couple teams that already have it. They're good to go. They're part of the minority that can take advantage of this opportunity. Yeah, I'd prefer that they just wait and just say, all right, we'll just do it. We'll do everything in 2022. Why tease us like that? Because the Hawks, legit, if they make the jerseys like they do on Instagram when they look all pretty, those would be the tightest jerseys in the NFL.
And they would fly off of shelves. Yeah. Everyone's going to want to buy those uniforms if they're out there. I mean, I would. I see every now and then, I see somebody walking around with like a Sean Springs jersey or some other old school. Maybe it's a Joey Galloway or it's a Cortez Kennedy or something like that. It looks fire. It's just, It's so clean. It's simple. It's perfect. Some person's mad that I insulted the Seahawks' current uniforms. I don't like them. Sorry. I mean, they're better than the ones. Look, they are better than the ones that they had starting in 2002 that they had for a decade. From 2002 through 2012. Those are, I don't know what they were thinking with that.
That's my era, Paul. That's my era.
Man, those were ugly,
impressive.
Bro.
Nah, they weren't impressive.
Did you not like wearing them? You're like, you know what? It's great to be in the NFL, but like.
No, I enjoyed it at the time. You put on a jersey in the NFL, you enjoy it. Now afterwards, when you're done with it, you're like, those weren't the greatest. Especially what you see what's out there now.